Force USA, the trusted name in strength equipment.
Hey guys, so now we're going to move on to our V900 and the advanced video for it. Alright, so the V900 is sort of the middle of the range for the Vortex range and is great for a light commercial setting, good for personal trainers chucking in their studio, and also can be utilised in home as well, someone that wants a good quality spin bike. Alright, again, we're going to start down the bottom, work our way up and touch on some of the unique features of the V900. So again, we've got the wheels up off the front that are welded onto the front of this tubing here for making it nice and easy to move around. So we just got to lean it forward like so, and then forward and back movement's nice and easy to get it, you know, an individual at home or in their studio. Space is important, so they might want to get it out, do their workout, and then they can move it back into its allocated space. You can see here that there's like a high grade steel, high tension steel has been used throughout the whole unit, so that adds to increase the structural stability of the unit. Quite very thick, you know, 10mm steel is utilised here on either side of the flywheel, so that there's going to be very little side to side movement there. So we've got the tubular finish that just I think it a little bit more pleasing to the eye rather than the straight one. So some people obviously for PT studios, gyms, they want their equipment to look the part as well, and I think the V900 caters for that criteria. We look through here, you can see lots of little things like here, there's got a section of steel has been welded in here. It's just to aid in the structural integrity of the product. So obviously a lot of load is going to be put on the seat and through this part of the steel and into this joint here. So this part here, this bit of steel here, really helps to shore that up and make that nice and strong. So the flywheel on this guy is 20 kilos. So she steps up in weight from the V600. So that extra couple of kilos is going to increase the inertia of the flywheel once it starts going. There's going to be more momentum, so it's going to be smooth, very smooth ride when you're starting to spin on this guy. So still touching on the flywheel and this braking mechanism. So I'll just jump on. I'm not sure if it's set for my height, but I'll just jump on and start riding. It's not too bad. So from here, the resistance is generated again through a felt pad, which just sits on top of the braking mechanism underneath this red cover here. It's straight on top and sits right on top of the flywheel rather than side to side. So this is a much more direct way to get the tension on the flywheel. So it's the same sort of thing, it's friction. So I've got my push to stop emergency button here. I don't know if you can see that. So push to stop, so once I start riding, I'm going to let it spin. All it's got to do is push that and it's going to stop that flywheel. So that's putting direct friction through that felt tip onto the flywheel to stop it. Same sort of thing with your tension control. So I'm going to rotate the handle clockwise to increase the tension, and then I'm turning the handle anti-clockwise to reduce the tension. So if we look from there, we're going to look at the different adjustment points on this unit. So we've got here a nice and simple with the red handles here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. All these different points are going to allow for adjustment. So here it just simply rotates forward and back, and it's nice and easy to tighten and get into position. So same sort of thing for this guy, just loosen it and then we can move those handlebars forward and back. And it's nice and simple just to tighten that and it's locked into place. So here again, it's that sort of almost a quick release system here. So turning the knob and then it can move up and down. So a little bit of maintenance here, a little bit of silicone sprayed onto a rag, wipe that on the stainless steel shaft, forward and back, and that's going to keep that nice and smooth. Same sort of thing here, simply just undoing that and it's going to allow the seat to move back and forward. So, you know, over There's a lot of different points of contact, and you can see the seat comes off as well. It's all right, these happen, keep recording. So I'll show you how we can put that back on. So it's just got a washer, it sits in there, and that just goes into that top plate, and she's quite easy. So you can see even in the setup process it's going to be quite quick to put that on. So a nice comfy racing seat there that's got a really high grade upholstery put on that. So it's also almost a hexagonal design here, so that really helps to, because it's not a round tubular design, it's going to lock that into that housing much more. So a digital readout again on the V900. So finished in a lovely red and black, which matches with the rest of the bike. Once you're on the bike and start pedaling, it's going to give you those basic feedback. So it's giving you speed. It's got a scan feature, so it's going to scan through each one of these things, or you can set it to just stay on one. So you might want to look at just distance for training. You might want to look at the calories that you've burnt. Got to work with that cheesecake from last night, or you got odometer and a pulse. So the pulse is very similar to the V600 in that you're just chucking your hands on top of the sensors, and then straight away it's giving me a readout of 22. Nah, 77. Must be nervous. And then from here it's got a nice point of contact as well for some of the spin people that like to really get stuck into their riding. They might want to get in this downward position here and really crank up that tension and get stuck into it. Alright, so we've got these foam pads here to allow you to do that. So it comes with the aluminium drink bottle again. Boom, so that comes as standard and sits in there. So that drink bottle holder is going to accommodate most drink bottles as well, if the individual wants to use their own. So the pedals, just that simple sort of lock-through design there, and on the other side we've got the cleat, so that you can, any individual that might have mountain bike shoes or road racing shoes, they can click on that and they can get stuck into their workout as well. Alright, so that gives you a nice rundown of the V900. So obviously a bit of a step up from the V600. You're going to be utilising this in your studios, PT studios, at home for an individual that wants a good bike. Warranty on this guy, so you've got lifetime structural, 12 months on all parts, and 90 days on the upholstery. Alright, so that's the V900, guys. Cheers.
Force USA, the trusted name in strength equipment. Now available at forcefitnessequipment.com.